Hey guys, we are back. I am Denman, and today we are going to be going through the gameplay for Songbird. Now, I did buy her in the Marvel Strikeforce.com store earlier. Full transparency, as always. She was $305 to take her all the way to 7 red. So we're going to go in here like always. We're going to test her out in raids at 3 red, 5 red, and then 7 red. We have went ahead and maxed her out, taking her to 105, geared 20. And as far as the ISOs go, I have equipped her with Striker, and we'll go over why I'm going to be first testing her out with Striker. However, I have unlocked Fortifier, and I'll go over why, and Raider. So we'll be discussing that during the gameplay like always. We're not going to sit here and just stare at the screen and go through her kit. We'll do that in gameplay as well. So we're going to jump into it. And I just wanted to let you guys know I did bring, let's see, four more characters to G20 today. So we brought up Songbird to G20, Victoria Hand to G20, Taskmaster to G20. Actually 5, sorry. Black Knight and Super Skrull. So I'm going to be creating another Professor X Saga testing video. And we're going to test out those 5 characters to give you guys a look into whether or not maybe they might be a better option than someone else for you. So be watching for that video if that's something that you're interested in, because we're definitely going to be doing that. I'm going to try to get it recorded tonight and hopefully get it up tonight, but at the very latest tomorrow. So I wanted to go over that, let you guys know that's going to be coming. But without further ado, let's jump into raids. And let's test her out at 3 red. And I think I got all the way to the bio node earlier, but let's check. Let's see. No, we're at mutant. So let me send this out real quick so we can get over to bio. Okay, let's jump in here and get through there. And then we'll do some testing with her. Now, I want to let you guys know exactly where we're at. So up to this point, the max difficulty that I have been able to accomplish with Victoria Hand and Ghost and Taskmaster have been at level 3 without doing a sack. So that's as high as we've gotten so far. So difficulty 3 is as far as we've been able to go with those 3 Thunderbolt characters. So we're going to start out testing difficulty 5. And we're going to see if she's going to make a difference. And of course, we're probably going to be spending some cores here because I'm out of energy. All right, so we're going to get rid of Gladiator. And we're going to grab her. All right, we're going to grab Songbird. So we're going to be going in with Super Skrull and the 4 Thunderbolts that we currently have. To give you guys an idea of what we're looking at, we do have 3 Diamond Ghost, 3 Diamond Taskmaster, and 7 red Victoria Hand. Victoria Hand and Taskmaster are both G20, and of course, Super Skrull and Songbird are also G20. I've not gotten Ghost up to G20 yet, so she's still at 19. So let's jump in and see how it goes. I don't know if she will be a big enough addition at 3 red for us to be able to beat difficulty 5, but we're about to find out. Now, of course, if you guys watched any of my character release videos, you know my go-to on every single one of them is absolutely core them or purchase them for sure. Now, again, I'm not saying that you need to unlock them and take them straight to 7 red. Not saying that at all, but definitely it is a good idea to grab every new character when they release. All right, so first thing we're going to do while we're on Songbird, she has extremely fast speed. I think she's 132. So she's definitely going to be going first on your squad. Let's check out her passive. So on turn, apply +2 deflect up to a maximum of 3 to self and all Thunderbolt allies. If this character has 4 or more Thunderbolt allies, which we don't yet, but we'll go through it anyway, this character and all Thunderbolt allies cannot gain ability block or trauma until she takes a turn. And I'm going to be straight up, I don't know how much of a big deal that's going to be, considering she's always going to be going first. So, the only thing I could see is if the other team that's coming in has a bunch of speed buffs and they get ahead of her, no one's going to be able to gain trauma or get ability blocked. I need to look into Mephisto's kit. I can't remember if one of his initial moves gives trauma. But if it does, then obviously that would be something where Mephisto's not going to be able to drop trauma on everybody. She's going to gain 50% crit chance, and in raids, 50% crit damage. And the Thunderbolt allies gain 50% of each as well, and Thunderbolt allies will gain 300% focus. That right there is why Raider is something I'm going to toy around with, because of the crit damage and crit chance. Raider's going to give us the capability to get as close to 100% as possible. However, I really think that I'm going to stick with Striker in most cases, and here's why. So, attack primary target for 300% damage and clear 2 positive effects. Also, clear 2 negative effects on self. I really like the idea of her clearing positive effects on all Striker attacks and clearing negative effects on herself. I don't know how big of a deal that's going to be. It sounds awesome, so we'll just kind of play it out and see how it goes. If it ends up not making that big of a difference, then we may end up switching to Raider. All right, her special: attack primary and adjacent targets for 400% damage, reduce speed bar by 20%. She's also going to clear barrier on all enemies. If this character has 2 or more Thunderbolt allies, reduce the duration of defense up by 2 for primary and adjacent targets, and apply defense down for 2 to primary and adjacent targets. In raids, apply defense up for 2 turns, safeguard for 2 turns, speed up for 2 turns to self and all Thunderbolt allies. This attack gains 500% extra focus and cannot be blocked or dodged. All right, we're going to go ahead and go with that right out of the gate because we're going to run out of time. And, of course, we'll check out her ultimate whenever we get around to that turn. All right, we're going to go ahead and use Taskmaster's ultimate. That should blind everybody. All right, let's get over here with his special. I think we'll probably run out of time before we can get through this, but that's perfectly fine. We got plenty of cores to jump back in here and test it out. All right, Victoria Hand, just a refresher. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 350% piercing. Apply trauma, ability block, and heal block. Let's go ahead and do that. And then, of course, let's get in here with Ghost's ultimate, which is boss mode. And then refresher, Victoria Hand's passive. Every time one of them gets attacked, she's handing out energy like crazy. Okay, and Victoria Hand got stunned, or Songbird got stunned. All right, so we're going to go ahead and back out and come back in. And we'll start over, and because I want to give it a fair shot actually playing through the match with her at 3 red to see if we can actually get through it. Okay. Now, I know that burning through these power cores is going to destroy Diablo's heart. Shout out to Diablo, my alliance leader. It always kills him when he's watching these videos and I'm using power cores. All right. Okay, so let's jump back in here. We're going to start out with Songbird's ultimate, so we're definitely going to go over that first thing. And then we're going to go ahead and play through the match and see if we can get through with her at 3 red. I think it will be awesome if we can, but I don't know if she's going to be strong enough at 3 or not. We will find out shortly. All right, as you saw, Victoria Hand's passing out energy already. All right, and Songbird's going to go first. So her ultimate. Attack all enemies for 350% damage. Flip all positive effects into negative effects and apply offense down for 2 turns. This is a huge ultimate for sure. If this character has 4 or more Thunderbolt allies, apply trauma for 2 turns to all enemies. That's going to be a big, big deal. And her attack gains 500% extra focus and cannot be blocked. In raids, she's going to reduce speed bar by 50% for all enemies with any positive effects. Apply immunity to self and Thunderbolt allies. Wow. This is a pretty crazy ultimate. So when we get Hyperion, she's literally going to be reducing the entire opposite side of the board by 50% speed bar. That's crazy. All right, let's get in here with Taskmaster's ultimate and blind everybody. Okay, what was her special? Attack primary and adjacent targets for 550% piercing. Apply 2 vulnerable. Apply 2 regeneration to self and all allies. Gain +2 charged up to a maximum of 5. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's go ahead and use Ghost's ultimate. Man, that's her and Taskmaster hit like trucks. Okay, Ghost got stunned. Okay, we got ability block, and Songbird is gone. All right, so we're going to go ahead and back out. So we did not get through there with 3 red, so we're going to bump her up to 5 red and try it again. I like to give you guys an idea. I think it's a big deal for you guys that are free to play to be able to see how she's going to perform at 3 red, as well as any of you guys out there that might be light spenders all the way to people that are going to go ahead and unlock her full potential first day. This will give you a look into whether it makes sense for you to add that part of your budget into taking her to 5 red or even 7 red. So let's jump back over here and bring her up to 5 real quick, and then we will go back in and check out how that does. All right, let's rank her up. Okay, you see her stat increase there from 3 to 4. And let's see her stat increase from 4 to 5. Okay, and of course, I do not go over any T4. I don't do T4 videos. You know, which one of their abilities are the best ones to put T4s on. On all new teams, I max out their T4s. Now, with that being said, if you don't have the capability to max everything out on her, for me, using her as a striker, I think T4 on her basic is a no-brainer. On her special, add 50% damage. In raids, apply speed up for 2 turns to self. I think that's a big deal as well for raids, giving speed up to the team. Her ultimate, plus 80% damage to all enemies if this character has 4 or more Thunderbolt allies. Apply trauma for 2 turns. I think that's a big deal. However, if you're short on T4s right now, I'd hold off on this one, because until you get Hyperion, that addition of that T4 isn't really getting you anything anyway. So if I were to hold tight on any of her T4s right now, I would say her ultimate for sure. And if this character has 4 or more Thunderbolt allies, this character, same thing. This is definitely a T4 that you want to equip, but right now, if you're short, hang tight, because you're not going to get any benefit out of it currently. It's definitely something I would come back and budget to T4, but right now, you're going to get nothing out of it. So if you're running short, right now, I would do the basic and the special for sure. All right. Hope that's helpful, and let's jump back in. Okay. So we're still on difficulty 5. Let's destroy Diablo's faith in humanity again. All right, so we now have her at 5 red. Let's jump in and see if that makes any type of noticeable difference. And then we did get our payout from the leaderboard event. So I believe, I haven't jumped in there and looked, but I think we've got some diamond orbs for the Thunderbolts. So I'm going to go ahead and open those with you guys when we're finished doing this testing. So you guys can check that out and see how we did there as well. All right, so I'm going to pull this up just for a minute so you guys can pause it if you need to double check it again. But we are going to jump in here and hammer them with her ultimate. Okay. Let's go over here with scroll, get the ability block, get a little rewind over there. All right, Victoria Hands handing out energy like crazy. All right, let's go ahead and use Taskmaster's ultimate and blind everybody. Okay. Oh, let's see. Attack, apply regeneration, apply to vulnerable. Attack the primary and adjacent targets. Apply trauma, ability block, and heal block. Generate 1 ability for self. Clear all negative effects on self and Thunderbolt allies. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. Songbird got stunned. That's not fantastic. Okay, she is gone. We're going to play this a little farther, though, and see if it looks like we could get through it. Okay, it doesn't look like it, so we're going to back out and take her to 7. And then we will come back in with her at 7 red. We really lost her at roughly the exact same place. So, to be totally honest, I did not really see any variance between her at 3 red and 5 red. So, I don't know that as far as getting through the raid currently, that having her at 5 red is going to change anything comparable to 3. Let's see what she looks like. We're going to go into her stats now at 7 red so you guys can see what she's looking like with damage and health. So her health is 12,530 now, and damage is 858. Armor is 416. Focus is 114. Crit damage is 130%. Her speed's 132. I thought it was at 132, but I wanted to double check that. All right, so let's go back in here now with her at 7 red and see if that's going to make a difference. Getting through here on difficulty 5 is just absolutely going to require Hyperion or sack. LD player is really laggy. Okay. Let's jump back in. There we go. All right. So let's try this one more time. See how she looks at 7 red. All right. Her damage is pretty decent. So the jump up to 7 red might add an addition to her damage that may make a big difference. Okay. Now, of course, let me see something here. I think we might use her special because it's going to clear all the barrier. So let's try that this time. We eliminated all the barrier out there, which is good for Taskmaster's ultimate. All right. Okay, let's go over here with Victoria Hand's ultimate. All right, let's do Ghost's ultimate. All right, let's see if we can get through this section now. This is where we've lost her the last 2 times. See if her extra health is going to keep her going here. Man, Victoria Hand just... Her name is correct, because she's handing out energy like crazy. All right, so Songbird is back up to all of her abilities. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was massive. Okay, and of course, Taskmaster's got his ultimate again. This is a big, big difference. Okay, let's see. Attack primary and adjacent targets. What is her attack? Gain charge. Call a random controller. And apply trauma, ability block. Let's go ahead and ability block Black Knight. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and use Ghost Ultimate again. Woo. All right, let's see if we can get rid of Black Knight now. There we go. All right, now with all the energy that Victoria Hand is giving out, she is on her ultimate again. Okay, let's go in here with his special. Let's go over here with her special. And choose Ghost and... Oh, why not? All right, we were able to get through on difficulty 5 with Victoria hand giving out energy like crazy, and Songbird at 7 red. So that's pretty awesome. There's a pretty big stepping stone from 5 red to 7 red. So if you are a spender and you're thinking about whether or not to take her to 4, 5, or 7, I recommend if you have the budget to extend her comfortably to 7, I would certainly recommend that. Especially if you were part of the leaderboard, because you're going to get access to these diamonds. So let's jump in here real quick and go over those. Oh, look. Perfect. Grabbed a war victory. Great job. Alliance members watching the video, awesome job on the war. All right. So let's jump over here. I think the orbs are going to be in here somewhere. Let's see. Okay, here they are. All right, so we've got 12. So let's go ahead. I think people like to see individual openings when they're watching orbs, so we'll do one at a time. So we've got a 1 diamond for Hyperion, another one. Okay. So far, 3 1 diamonds for Hyperion. There's 1 diamond for Victoria Hand. All right. Well, we've got a 1 diamond on all 3 of them now, which is fantastic. Let's see if we can get lucky and get a 2 diamond. So far, no. But we got 5 more chances. Okay, still a 1. Yeah, this is kind of how my luck always goes with diamonds. I opened like 15 diamond orbs for Old Man Logan and never got more than a 1 diamond. Okay. And there we go, another 1 diamond. Okay. So, looks like we got 120 of these, which are the Thunderbolt diamond credits. Looks like we own 240. I think we might be able to get a 3 diamond with that. Okay, sweet. But let's jump over here and see. So in here you can use those credits. So 160 will get you a 2 diamond, and 400 will get you a 3 diamond. So, how many of these do I have? Let's click the button, it'll tell us. Okay, I'm 160 short, so I've got 240 of those. So I think I'm going to wait and I'm going to have to do some thinking whether it would make sense to take them all to 2 diamond or wait and do 3 diamond. Probably I'll wait and go straight to 3 diamond, but we'll have to see. I'm not really sure how I want to go about that. All right. So we did knock that out. One other thing while we're in this video real quick, I wanted to remind you guys. Don't forget about the flash thing. I did my battle world before they added this, but I will have the opportunity to grab this tomorrow with the extra points that we need to complete this free to play. So this is going to reset in 3 days. So they're giving you plenty of time to get into battle world. So make sure you're doing your battles so that you get the capability to grab those extra points so you can finish this event. Let's see. Okay. Looks like we finished those. And looks like we're going to need those extra points to finalize that, which is fine. All right. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you taking time to hang out with me. If you guys got some value out of the video, obviously like it, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's greatly appreciated. And then be watching for my neutral zone video and my updated video on Professor X saga testing with the new characters that I was able to bring to G20. So we're going to be doing some pretty fun videos this week, obviously with U16 coming out. So stay tuned for that stuff. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm going to ask you to stay positive and enjoy the game, guys. Have an awesome evening.